AFL26 fans, we've had some screenshots dropped today, and I know I'm a little bit late to the party with putting these up, and I know you've probably all seen them, but I'm doing a video anyway because I thought they were kind of cool, and it's fun to share because the game's not far away. May the 8th it comes out, which is very, very exciting. Then yeah, some screenshots obviously dropped today thanks to Press Start, I think it was, who released some articles. There was an article on the AFL website as well, so things are starting to really ramp up now, which is good to see, and the hype's starting to build, which is nice to see. But let's jump across and take a look at some of the photos, or the screenshots, should I say, that were released today, and we'll just have a quick chat about them, and then obviously keen to get all of your thoughts in the comments below as well. But I will jump across to the live screen, and we'll see what we've got here. So the first one was, this might be one of the first ones released today from memory. So Jamie Elliott taking a hanger over Mackay. The Sharon looks very, very nice, first and foremost, might I add. Now, I've saved these as screenshots, and I'm zoomed in, so that they could be a bit more pixelated than what they will be in real life, but just for the purpose of being able to talk to them, I thought I would enlarge it ever so slightly. But it does look like it's a new Specky animation. I don't really recall seeing anything like that in AFL23, more so the reaction of Mackay rather than the mark itself. So that hopefully there's a few more different animations to come in the games. Obviously got the crowd in the background with waving some scarves and some flags and things like that. But yeah, look, selfishly, I'm drawn to the football. Really good detail in the football, given it's what I sort of look after on a daily basis. Yeah, it's exactly what it should look like. So they've definitely got that down pat. But that was the first image that came out. Up next, we've got the Blues going through the banner. I mean, this looks fairly similar to what we remember seeing in AFL 23, the team all running out together. But, I mean, it looks clear and clean enough. I suppose I said a couple of times that I probably wasn't expecting much development by way of graphics, but these shots probably don't do it justice. The actual shots that are on like Press Start's website and things like that are probably a bit more better quality than my save as of it. And they do look a lot crisper and a lot cleaner. But yeah, good to finally see some footage come through. So that's one of the Blues going through the banner. Then we've got the Ds coming out, and you can really tell from the face scans, you can clearly see the players there with Max Gawn, Viney and Stephen May coming up the race. Got the Guernseys pretty well nailed. And I mean, to be fair, the Guernseys were probably a very big strength of AFL 23 when it dropped, with how many Guernseys were in the suite that you could pick from straight from the bat. So it's no real surprise that they've got that down pat. But yeah, the likeness is clearly there. Clearly there. We can all tell who those players are, which is obviously very, very important. Then we've got Bailey Smith, got the headband as well. Got the headband. One thing to note that is of interest that I do remember seeing a lot of people comment about, there's a lot of people were commenting about in AFL 23, the scoreboard's not working in terms of the scoreboards at the grounds not showing any vision at all, just a black screen. Interesting to note if you look over here in that bottom or that middle left section that the scoreboard is showing the gameplay that we can see on the screen. So that looks like that's been addressed. And I did play AFL 23 last night, and I noticed that it was working there as well. It seemed to work on most grounds. Admittingly, I played 1 or 2 games and didn't get to try every ground, but it seemed like it was working on the ones that I was playing anyway. But very good to see it working on this particular example as well. So hopefully that's the same across all of the grounds there. Then we've got Mac Andrew giving the shh to the crowd. I cannot believe J&T allowed all of these negative Essendon-related images be released for the game. Jeez, they've done him dirty there. But good to see that type of image in there, just in terms of seeing some different celebrations. Obviously, there was a couple of different ones with AFL 23, and hopefully we can see some more expanded celebrations like the Mac Andrew one. I'm not sure what triggers it, or if it's just you got to be using a specific player, or what might happen there. But good to see they've got that sort of realism element in there too. Again, I think the Mac Andrew one was one that dropped earlier this morning on the Press Start website, and it looked clean as on there. So I'm not sure if graphically mine's doing it justice. And look, I know the screenshots, and it's all about the in-game play. I get that. I'm not trying to take away from that, but I mean, like 23, you can't really deny that graphically the game looks pretty good. And I know just from what I read on different forums and things like that, there's going to be people out there trying to shit can it, saying it's graphically not good. In my personal opinion, the only way you could say the game's not graphically good is if you're somehow expecting to see FIFA or NBA 2K graphics, which was never going to happen in the first place. For what we've got for an Australian developer and the budget they would have, these graphics are pretty good, right? I don't think we have anything to complain about on that front. But it's more than about graphics. It's the gameplay that we need to land. The final one, this was actually probably my most favourite snippet of an in-game shot that they released of the AFLW game between the Crows and the Tigers. First and foremost, again, I'm going to draw my attention straight to the share, and it looks lovely there. I don't think they had all the brandings on the ball last year for AFLW. Some of the artwork had changed throughout the course of the year, but to see, yeah, the Chemist Warehouse and the AFLW and the NAB badge side by side, that's exactly what the ball looks like, so that's a big tick. And it also, and I know Bud covered this in his video as well, and it's a very good observation. And it looks like it's a snap kick as well. I mean, that doesn't, you look at the body angle, you look at the way the ball is moving based on the kick, you would have to hazard a guess that it's a drop punt, a snap and not a drop punt, which is good. Because I know a lot of people were wanting to see more snap shot varieties, snap passes and things like that in the game. And I think the most exciting thing that I saw from this photo straight away, stood out massively. It's actually the players down here in the distance that are jostling, or they're side by side. They're not just stationary side by side. They're not one facing left, one facing right. And then they all of a sudden get into the contest. Like, they actually look engaged in the contest and where the ball is coming from and where it's about to land. And I think that's a really, really good sign. I know Big Ant, obviously, on one of their very first tweets about AFL26, were talking about the bump and jostling and things like that. Maybe this type of photo was showcasing a little bit of that, albeit in a stationary manner. But I just thought that was a really noticeable difference, because I remember even from the launch party in the very early days, a lot of people were upset and worried and didn't like the fact that players that weren't near the ball or indirectly involved in the play, they didn't seem to be doing realistic things. Like I said before, they were facing wrong directions, moving in abnormal ways and things like that. And it kind of takes away from the realism of the game. But looking at this looks like it's real. This looks, when I say real, like they're engaged in the contest and the ball that's coming in. And I think that's going to be really important to making it feel a lot more realistic. So that for me is the money shot. Really happy with how that looks. But keen to hear all of your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of the screenshots? Did you notice anything else that I didn't like? There's probably a lot more of you out there that are more graphically minded. I've seen a heap of comments talking about the lighting looking a lot better in these images than AFL23. I'll take your guys' word for that. I'm not really that creatively minded to pick up on things like that. But it's good to see someone like Wood, for example, who is very good graphically, to hear him say those things is really positive as well. So I rate his opinion very highly. So that was really good to see too. But yeah, they're just my thoughts on the snapshots that we had from today. Very exciting. Keen to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And not long now until we see the game.